Hi all, it's Sunday Snippets time. Just bear with me a second while I just check that this is running okay here. Sometimes I wish my YouTube channel just up there. These Sunday Snippets are just me talking from the heart, man to man, man to woman, whatever you want to call it. I've got no axe to grind. I'm not selling anything. I'm not asking you to join anything. And so I can give you the truth, which is what's hard to find online, because most of the time people are trying to influence you to either join them in their opportunity or buy a product they're selling or something similar. That's not the case here. All I'm trying to do is move you from that 95% failure rate into the 5% that are making a profit online. If possible, to get you into that top tiny percentage who are making good money online. When I'm talking about good money, I'm talking about, I don't know, 5,000 and up per month, every month, sustainable. So that's what I'm aiming to help you do, no matter what it is you choose to promote or how you intend to go about it. I've spoken about this in the past. I said that really there are only two ways: you either sell something or you invest in somebody who's selling something. I've been involved in the home business industry for over 40 years. I've made a lot of money, largely through selling things. I've sold potions and pills and software, and I've had my own membership sites and all sorts. You name it, really. I've done it in over 40 years. Water filters, air purifiers, wine, cosmetics, products that way. I've sold hosting, I've sold autoresponders, whatever it is. I am convinced that for most of you out there, and by all means, if you feel this is of value, please like and share for the benefit of others. But for you out there, for that 95% that don't make a profit, I'm pretty well convinced that the best way forward for you is through investment plans. Now, you can also promote investment plans, but if you're involved in an investment plan, if it pays commissions as well, that's great. But if you're involved in an investment plan and you're making money, making a profit from investing cash, then that gives you authority to go out and tell people genuinely that this is a way they can make money. And then if you refer people and there are commissions, that's an added bonus. Even the companies that profess to do it all for you have the same sort of failure rates, and one day I'll do a blog post or something that'll show you that. I don't know really how to show you this on here, but I was looking at a couple of companies that have income disclaimers. Companies are forced to have income disclaimers. Most of them just say you're only going to make what you deserve, and they'll flower it up in lots of different ways. But there are one or two that will actually show you breakdowns of the success rates of people in their business. And two of the we do it all for you that I found that have these rates there, you're looking at 4% making over $4,000 or something like that. I can't remember the exact figures though. But and 33% making less than $100. And that is qualified as 33% of affiliates that maintain their monthly affiliate fee. So in other words, if people have joined and not made anything, they're not in those figures. If people have joined and you know, so decided that they're not going to pay their affiliate fee because they're not making any money, they're not included in that 33% that basically are failing. So the failure rate really is what all the surveys that I've been involved in, that I've conducted personally or that I've been involved in with peers, really. Hi Jocelyn, give us a like, eh? Bit of love. They show that 95% of people have actually lost money rather than made money online. So I'm just trying to give you the truth so that you stand a fair chance of becoming somebody who knows what it's about and can actually make money. As I say, I'm not selling anything, I'm not asking you to join me in anything or buy any of my products or anything like that. I just want to give it to you straight. And what I want to talk about today is getting the edge when you're selling something or when you're buying something, because it's particularly important when you're buying traffic. Buying traffic, if you're selling things rather than investing, or even if you're promoting the investment plan, the easiest and best way for most people, most marketers, especially that haven't got lots of experience or time to learn the ins and outs of Facebook advertising and Google advertising and YouTube advertising. It's not all that complicated, but it takes time. You've got to learn these things. So the people that the easiest and best way is through solo ads. And I talked about solo ads. It's a good way to build a list. Building a list is important. Building rapport with your list is even more important. And I talked about that in the past as well. And we'll go into that more in future sessions. But getting solo ads, where do you get the solo ads? There are lots of places that you can get them, but ideally you want solo ad vendors coming to you, asking you to buy their solo ads, rather than you going to the vendor asking if you can buy their solo ads. Because that then puts you in that position of power. If you're face-to-face selling, how do you get into a position of power? You've got to understand that the person you're selling to, all they've got is money. What you've got is the solution to their problems. And that is more valuable than the money that they have. Okay? So you've got to have that right attitude for a start. If you're doing face-to-face and it's not online, and you walk into the room, you've got to go into that room saying, look, I've got your solution. What can you offer me for it? That's got to be your attitude. It's not oh, I've got this thing here to sell, and I know it's 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever it may be, even if it's only $1. Why don't you try it? That's not the right attitude. You've got to go in, you've got to get that position of power. If you're talking to people, how do you get your conversation? How do you become the powerful person in that conversation? Well, it's by asking questions. And the person that's asked the last question is in the driving seat. So whatever conversation you're in, always finish by asking a question. Even if you've been asked a question, answer it and then ask them a question. It can be as simple as, does that answer your question for you, or have you got something else that's concerning you? You want to be in the driving seat. You want to be taking people the path that you want them to travel down. So remember that about asking questions. Buying solo ads. Let's get back to that, because I like to keep these sessions as short as possible. It's a Sunday afternoon here. Time is valuable. If you're up in the morning, you might be getting ready for church. It's a Sunday at 11 o'clock perhaps in New York or Florida. So I like to try and keep these pretty short. So where do you go to buy solo ads? Well, what I suggest you do to get in that position of power is you go to Facebook and you just do a search for solo ad testimonials, and you'll get a few sites coming up. Find a site that's got lots and lots and lots of testimonials and different people selling solo ads. That's the first thing you do. Then what you do is you go through the testimonials and you look for one that looks viable, looks good. And then you contact that person and you tell them where you found them, and you say, look, I do a lot of solo ads, but I'm always looking to improve my results. And I see that you've been getting some good results, but I like to test things. I like to start small and then build big. So if you're interested in that, is that something that you'd be interested in doing with me? And invariably they're going to say yes, because they're looking for business. But you're already in a position of some power, even though they're selling the solo ads, because you told them, you know, you're already doing solo ads, you've already got providers, you're getting results, but you want to test their market, you just want to test their list. And they say to you, yeah, how many do you want to test with? And you say, oh, well, I never test initially with more than 200, which is a good number. You'll get a reasonable sort of analysis of the results you're going to get from 200. So you buy 200 solo ads and you'll do your best to negotiate a deal, and they might cost you, let's say they cost you 50 cents. You spend $100, you get 200 clicks, and if you've got a reasonable front-end offer, and we've talked briefly about that as well in the past, but we'll go into those more, you want something that is going to get people on your list. The purpose of doing this is to get people on your list that have given you permission to contact them, so that you can build that relationship with them. And only when you've built that relationship with them will that list start to become profitable. So you're not looking for sales at this moment. If you get a few sales, okay, that's a bonus. You're not going to get many, but if you do get them, it's a bonus. What you're looking for is the highest number of people that you can get on your list, and you want to be giving them more than you advertise. So ideally what you do is you have your normal lead capture page saying whatever it is you're giving away, free report or video training or whatever it might be, download this ebook, whatever it may be. When they are opting in, you make it clear that you're going to deliver it by email. That way, one, they're going to open your email, because that's the only way they're going to get what you're offering. So never send them to the thing that you're offering them. You want that email opened. You want to get them into the habit of opening emails from you. And we covered that in far more depth last week than I'm going to cover here. The next thing you do is you send them to a page, and this isn't your sales page, this isn't the offer that you've promised them. You send them to a page where you introduce yourself and you say, look, this is me, thanks for opting in, we've sent you the thing that you wanted, it's been sent automatically by email, but while you're here I've got an extra special bonus for you. And you give them something else, so they're getting more than they even expected. So you're starting to build that, yeah, this is a cool guy, he's not just ripping me off, he's out to give me even more than, and you start to see that happening. Now what happens then is the person that you bought those solo ads from will come back to you and they'll say, how did your solo ad go? And you'll say, oh, it wasn't bad, I got 35% opt-ins, and maybe if you're lucky you got a sale or 2 sales. And he'll say, oh, well, great, you know, we usually get at least 35%, sometimes 40%. Would you mind putting a testimonial on the site? that you found me on. And this is of value to him, but it's of even more value to you. Because what will happen when people see that testimonial from you, and you make sure you include in it, I do a lot of solo ads, but I just did a test with this vendor and these are the results I got. Okay, so people know that you're doing a lot of solo ads, and all the vendors that are in there are looking at this, and they're going to hit you up. They're going to come to you and message you on Facebook saying, I see you did a solo ad. I sell solo ads as well. So now you've got them coming to you, and this is like the difference between a high paid salesman selling double glazing who goes around knocking on doors and talking to people, and then he gets invited in and he sits down and he makes a sale. He gets paid massive commissions because that is the hardest sale. But that same company may well have a shop on the high street, and they've got, we sell double glazing, and they've got double glazing in the windows and things, and people walk into that shop, and the shop assistant in there may well sell the same package as that other salesman, but they get paid peanuts in comparison because they've got somebody who's come in looking for the thing to start with. And this is the advantage that you have once you get a solo ad vendor coming to you. You say, well, look, I've already got a load of vendors that I've used for years, and I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to beat the offers that I get from them. What can you do for me? You're putting them in the hot seat, okay, instead of you struggling to get the best deal. See the difference? The difference is that position of power. And that's really what I wanted to cover today. You'll find it extremely useful in buying solo ads, but you'll find it extremely useful also when you're in that situation where if you're talking to somebody and they're asking you questions, answer their question. Answer it fairly and honestly, but always end with a question to ask them. That gives you the power, and that can lead them where you want them to go. What is it you're looking for? What is it that really motivates you? Why do you want to do this business? Why do you want to make more money? How much do you make now? What kind of a job have you got now? Find out all you can about them. And once you know where they're coming from and what they want and where they want to go, then you can say to them things like, well, if I could show you a way to get that new house, or that vacation you've always dreamed of, or that car, or whatever it is that they've said that really is what they're looking for, and make sure that you get on the right track so that you're not failing like 95% of the other people online. Would you be interested? And they've got to say yes, because they'd been mad if they said no. Okay? So that's it for today. Solo ads, implement the strategy. You get into that position of power, and it's practice for also when you're talking to people, or when people are coming to you and they're saying, well, how much do you earn? You say, oh, it's not really relevant, because what I earn is not going to affect what you earn. You could earn more than me, you could earn less than me. I can tell you if you want, most people online are going to show you falsified records, but it's not really important. What is really important is how much do you want to make. So how much is that? Question back to them, and you'll get used to this question, and it'll put you in that position of power, and people will think you're a great person for doing it because you're showing interest in them. So they won't feel pressured. They'll feel, oh, at last I'm getting somebody that's interested in me, not just trying to get their hand in my wallet. That's all I've got for you today. God bless. Have a great Sunday, and I hope to see you next week. If you've enjoyed this and got some value from it, please like and share. God bless.